Okay, guys. So in the last class, we discussed about software testing test plan concepts. So test plan document is very important, and we discussed some of the basics about test plan document. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible. So test plan document that describes the test strategy, test objectives, plan, okay, schedule estimation, and what are the resources required for the okay for software testing. Then the test plan is very important, okay, for testing the application, so that this particular test plan document, it will be help to the other team members like developers, business, and customers to understand the details of testing. So here are the some steps. So how to write the test plan, okay, how to write the test plan. So as per the IEEE standard, to write a test plan, you need to understand following steps. Okay, you need to understand, or you need to analyze the product, right? Okay, you need to analyze the product. Then after understanding the or analyzing the product, you need to design the test strategy. Okay, and based upon the test strategy, you have to define the test objectives. Then what is the test objective, then test criteria, then resource planning, and plan for the test environment. Okay, so these are the some steps. Then schedule estimation, determine the test deliverables, that is output. What is the output of the this particular test plan? Okay, so you need to analyze. Once you understood, you have to design. Then what is the define the objectives, why you are doing the testing. So all this comes in your test documentation, test plan documentation. All this comes in the test plan documentation. Okay, so define the test criteria, resource planning, then plan the test environment, schedule estimation, and determine the test deliverables. So first you need to analyze the product. Okay, so test a product without the any information. Means if you are testing a product without any information, so it is there is no use, it is impossible. Okay, because first you need to understand what the product or project is, then only you can describe the objectives, you can proceed for the testing. Okay, you must know or learn about the product thoroughly before the testing it. Okay, so the product under the test, like in this particular we considered one example. I have taken one example, that is a Guru 99 banking website product. So to test this particular banking software, you should have do the research the client and end users to know their needs and expectation from the application. Like who will use the website? Like banking site is there, no? Who are using the banking website? Okay, I mean for this particular case, what is it is used for? How will it work? What are the software, hardware the product uses? So that you should know all these things, then only you can like plan for the testing. So these are the some approach to analyze the site. Okay, for example here, how to analyze, like you do the interview with the client or the designer or developer, you make an interaction. Okay, to understand the product, so you should have an interaction. Then review the product and project documentation, that is very important. You need to do the review. Okay, once you interaction or analyzation, or like after taking the interview, you review the product, you go through the documents, then perform the product walkthrough. Okay, product walkthrough means you are like use the features of the product. So you are just checking. Okay, walk through the particular product, and this process will repeat again. You interact with, if you have any difficulty or to understand, so you interact again, you review. Okay, this is a continuous process. So to apply, let us apply the knowledge to the real product, like for this particular banking software. Okay, once you log in, okay, so you will understand what are the features are there. Okay, so first you have to look around the website. So for that you need to use the particular software. Okay, without using the particular software, you cannot describe the test objectives and all. So you try to use the product. So I think in the Guru 99, you are as a part of the tutorial work, as a part of the tutorial work, you have created your account in the like guru99.com. I think for that Selenium 7 days task, 7 days task as a part of your tutorial work, where you require the this particular banking website, like the test cases and all, you will get scenarios. Okay, so first you need to understand the product. Okay, you need to understand, you need to look around the website, and also review the product documentation. So review product documentation that help you to understand all the features of the website. Okay, what are the features they are included and how to use. Okay, and if you are unclear any items, then again you interact with the customer, developer, designer to get more information. So once you understand, like once you analyze, then you have to develop the test strategy. Okay, so this is a critical step. Now you are understood, now you have to test that particular product. So to test that particular product, you have to create a or develop a test strategy. So to create this test strategy for the software testing, a test strategy document, okay, which is usually developed by the manager, and this particular test strategy document, it includes the project's testing objectives. Okay, why you are doing the testing, okay, that main objective. Okay, it includes the testing objective and means to achieve them, how you can achieve those objectives, how you can complete that particular task, and also determine the effort and cost. Okay, you can determine the effort, how much like resources are required, how much resource required, and the cost, then the time, how much schedule the time is required to complete the testing. So for this particular test strategy, you are going to find out what is the main objective and how to achieve those objectives, and the effort and cost required. So these are the steps, right? These are the steps, like you have to define the scope of the testing, means to develop the test strategy document. Okay, to develop this test strategy document, you have to define the scope, then you would have to identify the testing type, then means which testing type you are using. There are so many testing types are there, as you know: unit testing, integration testing, system testing, performance testing, load testing, volume testing, spike testing, stress testing, smoke testing. There are various different regression testing. So in that, which testing type that you are using for the testing the application. So you have, based upon your scope, you need to identify. Then you need to identify the document risks and issues. You need to list out what are the risks that occur. Then create a test logistics. Okay. So in the defining the scope, you have to define what are the in scope and out scope. Okay, so as per your budget, as per your time, so you have to finalize in scope per testing activity and out of the scope. Out of the scope means it is not possible to test your software within that particular budget, within that particular budget or within that particular time. It is not possible, so that you are defining. Okay, then give everyone a confidence and accurate information of the testing that you are doing. Okay, so you have to clearly mention in the scope of the testing your project budget, specification, skill, that is the resource, skill and talent of your test team. Okay, so you have to clearly define in scope and out scope, in scope and out scope of the testing activity. Okay, so for this particular Guru 99 bank, okay, as a customer software specification, the project Guru 99 bank only focus on the testing the all the functions and external interfaces of the website. That is in scope, means they are testing all the features and the external interface. That is their in scope testing. I mean that is included in their particular budget. Okay, in their particular the final agreement. And these are the out of scope, like stress performance testing and all. Okay, currently will not be tested. Currently these are not to be tested because these are out of scope. Okay, so based upon the scenario, you have to decide which are the in scope items and out scope items. Since once the scope, once you understand what is the scope of your testing particular product, then you have to identify the testing type. Okay, which type of testing is suitable. As you know, the various testing types are there, and early detection of all the defects before releasing the product to the customer is very important. So by keeping in this mind that early detection of defects, you have to use the different testing methods, okay, based upon your project or based upon your product. Unit testing, API testing, integration testing, system testing, install testing, agile testing. Okay, so based upon your product. So here unit means it tests the smallest piece of the a particular software application. Test the API for the created for application. Integration testing where all the units or modules are combined and you are testing as a group. System testing where all the modules are integrated and that is a complete system. We can say the complete system. Then install testing, uninstall testing, agile testing. Okay, here you are using some agile methodology. So you have to mention which type of the testing applications you are focusing, which type of which testing type that you are considering and which you are ignoring. That you have to do, you have to identify. Okay. So like for example, based upon your requirement. Okay. To test the particular web application, to test any web application, like you have to give the priority. For testing the web application, you have to give the priority. Okay, which testing methods you are using? Either you are using unit testing or API testing or integration testing or system testing, install, uninstall testing, and agile. So all these testing types, like identifying the testing type, it is depend upon the your in scope and out scope activity. Okay, so based upon that you can decide. Then after identifying the project scope and testing type, then you have to list out the document the risk and issues. Okay, Uncertain events. This means some uncertain events where the team members are lack the required skills for the website testing. Okay, so if there is such a risk, then you have to plan the training course to upgrade their skills. Okay, if you are using any new tool in the software, in the new tool in testing the web application, then if the team is unaware about how to use, so you need to arrange a training course. The project schedule is too tight, so it is hard to complete in a project on time. So if in such a case, you have to set the priority, test priority for the testing activity. Which testing type is very important. So based upon the priority, you have to based upon the priority you have to start the testing the application. Okay. Then test manager has a poor management skill. Then you, based upon that, how you can handle, like you can arrange a leadership training for the manager. A lack of cooperation negatively affects your employees productivity. This is the issue. I mean, there is some communication problem. Okay, lack of cooperation that negatively affects your employees productivity. So encourage each team member in his task and inspire them to get a greater effort. Okay, so you need to like encourage your team members. And suppose if there is a wrong budget estimate and a cost overrun, so if there is such an issue, then establish the scope before beginning the work. Okay, you need to like identify, you need to list out the scope. Okay, in scope and out scope, in scope activity and out scope based upon your budget. Okay, so first you scope, you are defining the scope, then identifying the testing type, then you are like risk assessment, risk documents, you are like mentioning the risk and the issues, then create a test logistic, like where the following questions are arises: who will test, when will the test occur. Okay, so all these things, the test logistics. Okay, so finally, these are very important for the testing, like test risk specification and requirement documents, human resource who all are doing the testing, then the test environment, software and hardware. So once all these complete, that is now you are ready for the testing. Okay, then after that you just define the objectives. Okay, what is the main objective of your testing? Okay, like for example, like you are listing all the software features, like the main functionality, the performance, GUI which need to be tested. So you are listing the objective. A particular we suppose here we are consider Guru 99 bank website, right? So in this particular bank website, what you are covering, what is your objective? Okay, what is your objective? Okay, so that you have to list. Okay, so you have to clearly mention the what is the objective. Now like you are doing your B degree. Okay, your degree, what is the objective? To get a job, to get a job in a reputed company. Like yeah, so this type of objective that you will mention, no, in your resume. Okay, in your resume you will mention like what is your objective? To get a job in a reputed company. So likewise for the software testing, so you have to list all the features, the functionality, the performance, GUI. Okay, so all these things you are required to mention the features. Okay, then define the target or the goal of the testing. So where you have to follow the approaches, top down, bottom up. So here there is a one like a diagram where you can understand clearly. So you are already analyzed the requirement specification of a particular product and walk through the website. So you can create a mind map to find the website features. Okay. So I hope this is visible. Okay. So for this particular a banking site, okay, for this particular banking site, okay, like what are the functionalities that you are consider? Like the main functionality like account, the deposit, withdraw, balance module, then inquiry. Okay, so these are the main functionalities that are associated with the your banking site. Okay, then the fund transfer. Okay, and suppose your account, this feature account, whether it is like login log out, how you are able to log in. If you are new account, you have for the registration facility, log in log out, change the password. Okay, then the usability, like the usability feature. Okay, your software, it should be user friendly, clear content. Okay, you have to define such features. Okay, you have to create a one mind map, like what are the main functionality that you are considering for the testing. Then security of or your testing of security is very important for the banking applications, like account protection through the OTP, authorized access. Okay, so these are the some security feature. Then user interface, web elements, website layout, then performance feature like load testing, stress testing, compatibility testing. Okay, so here the user interface, you have to focus on the type, the button, menu, text, image, HTML, like the code and all. Okay, so like in our case, like this particular Google Meet, where I can like stop this. I can, once I click on this stop presenting. So here you cannot see my screen. Okay, so these are the buttons, and here this Google Meet is very easy to use. I can share the a link. Okay, I can share the link. I can invite the people. I can control the host. Like I can control like you cannot message in the particular meet. So these are the options that are they are provided and very easy to use for this particular Google Meet product. Okay, so this figure that shows the features of the banking, the Guru 99 banking site. Okay, so based upon the features, the functionalities, you can define the test objectives. Test objectives. Okay, what are the main functionalities? The account deposit, account transfer. Okay, usability, user interface is very important. Okay. Then test criteria. When you have to stop the suspension criteria. When you have to stop this testing process. So all this comes under your this particular. Okay, here analyze the product, design the test strategy, design test objectives. Okay, define the test criteria. So how to write the test plan? These are the following steps that we are just studying. Okay, analyze the product, design strategy, test objectives, define the test criteria, resource planning. Okay, so here the suspension criteria means when you can suspend, you can stop the testing process, that you have to define. For example, here the specify the critical suspension criteria for the testing. If the suspension criteria are met during the testing, then the above test cycle will be suspended. It means you can stop the testing process. So here, for if your team members that report that there are 40% of the test cases are failed, and you should suspend the testing until the development team fixes those failed test cases. Okay, so you are like started your testing, and if there are 40% of the test cases, 40% of the test cases are failed. So in such case, you need to stop the testing, because you need to stop until if those defects are fixed by the developer. Okay, until if these are fixed by the developers, right? Okay, so likewise you have to define the suspension criteria, like in your examination, we can say in your examination, suppose if the student, I think you have to take, I think out of 50, 18 marks, right, to get the pass. So for this is the cutoff. If you fail, what is the next? You have to again reappear reappear for the test. Okay, so likewise suspension criteria, exit criteria. Okay, so exit criteria is also very important. It specifies the criteria that denote the successful completion of the test phase. Successful completion. Exit criteria are the targeted results of the test before proceeding to the next phase of the development, like 95% of all the test cases that must pass. Okay, means before proceeding to the next phase, that is the exit criteria. Before proceeding to the next phase of testing, that you have to specify this much of particular test case it must pass. So some methods that define the exit criteria are specifying the a targeted run rate and pass rate. Okay, you know what is run rate and pass rate. You should know. Okay, what is run rate? A run rate is the ratio between number of test cases executed, divided by total test cases of the particular test specification. For example, if there are 120 test cases are there, and the tester has executed 100 test cases, so 100 by 120, that is 83 percentage, they are that is run rate. Okay, means out of 120 total test cases, 120 टेस्ट केसेस है, उसमें 100 टेस्ट केसेस दे आर रन. Okay, 83 percentage. Then pass rate is the ratio between number of test cases are passed divided by total executed. अभी 100 एग्जीक्यूट किए थे तो उसमें 80 पास है. Okay, so run rate and pass rate is very important. Okay, run rate क्या है? Number of test cases are executed 100 out of 120 test cases, तो इसका 83 परसेंटेज हुआ. Okay, then here pass rate. Okay, pass rate में क्या है? In the pass rate 80 test cases are passed. 80 test cases are passed out of 100. Okay, out of 100 कितना है? 80, तो 80% पास हुआ. बट आवर एग्जिट क्राइटेरिया क्या है? एग्जिट क्राइटेरिया में क्या है? To proceed to the next stage, at least you should complete 95 percentage of this particular pass rate. Okay, that you have to define. Okay, that must pass 80-95% of the, like, it is depend upon the project to project. Okay, so run rate and pass rate. Okay, run rate is mandatory, like 100% unless a clear reason is given. Okay, means you have to run all 100 cases. You should not say any. Okay, like 95% चलेगा क्या, 90% चलेगा क्या. Okay, you should not say. Yeah, क्या है, run rate is mandatory. Mandatory it is 100%. Okay, then pass rate is dependent on the project scope. So, but achieving the pass rate is a goal. Okay, achieving the high pass rate. Achieving the high pass rate is a goal. Okay, so pass rate कितना है? Suppose if we target for 95 percentage, then you have to achieve your pass rate. You have to achieve your pass rate. Okay, so there is a one scenario where a test plan example, your team has already done the test execution. They report the test result to you. Okay, they report the test result. Okay, the test result to you, and that you want you to confirm the exit criteria. Okay, so we have, these are the team members. So we have a run of 90% of total test cases, and remaining 10% of test cases we do not how to test. So do we confirm the exit criteria? Okay, so here as a manager you should say like you do not confirm, because रन रेट मीन्स क्या है, आप आपको सब टेस्ट केसेस कवर करना है 100% the test cases you are required to cover. Okay, you have to cover all the 100%, and here there are still 10% test cases are remaining. So as a manager you should say that I will not confirm. Okay, I will not confirm means exit criteria आपको खत्म करना ही पड़ेगा 100% रन रेट. ओके, 100% run rate you need to confirm. Okay, so in this way you have to like okay, run rate is mandatory 100%. means mandatory means कैसा है, all test cases आपको सब test cases pass करना पड़ेगा, all the test cases you need to run. Okay, for a particular application. अभी कितना 250 टेस्ट केसेस है, तो 250 टेस्ट केसेस को आपको कवर करना पड़ेगा. 250 test cases you need to cover. So the test team only completed 90, then it means it is not satisfied. So do not confirm the exit criteria. Okay, do not confirm the exit criteria. Okay, suspension criteria, exit criteria, both are different. Okay. Okay, then based upon that we will plan the resource planning and all, the human resource, the members that are involved, test manager, testers. Okay, those who test the execute the test cases, log and report the defects, developers. Okay, test administrator, then quality assurance members. Okay, we will finalize the resource planning. You need to finalize the resource planning, like how many like employees or people required. Okay, and the human resource, then the software, hardware. Okay, so everything you have to plan. Then the to set up the test environment. Okay, you should ask the developers some questions like to understand the web application under the test clearly. Okay, like what are the maximum user connection, how many people they are using the particular website. Okay, at a time how many people are they are working on the website, what are the hardware software required. Okay, All these things you have to describe, and you have to ask. Okay, so based upon that, okay, you have to prepare your test environment. Okay, plan for the test environment. Plan for the test environment. Okay, like how many people, these are the users. Okay, user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4. How many people they are accessing the banking site? Accessing the banking site, that you need to find out. Okay, okay guys, so these are all some very important concepts for writing the test plan. Okay, and as a even interview point of view also, it is very important, like how you prepare a test plan for the any application. So in such cases, what you can do is you can take an example for any banking site, and you can explain it thoroughly. Okay, okay, so any questions? Yes, anything other to discuss?